There's two, actually, we're working on both horizontal and vertical, so we need to waterproof. So this system is a waterproofing system. It's for full tank waterproofing. Means that we will have a continuity between the under slab waterproofing, under the wrap slab, on the horizontal, and the waterproofing membrane and layers on the vertical. On the horizontal, the surface preparation, we go with the membrane, BSWH, which is the first membrane here, BSWH. So it's installed over prepared substrate or a screed layer, a mud slab or a thin layer of concrete that is there as surface preparation. Concrete.
Loose laid.
Loose. And the first membrane is loose laid. Because at the end, very good comment, what we want to achieve, we want to get the good adhesion of the structural concrete to the membrane. We want the waterproofing membrane to be adhered to the right substrate. The right substrate is the structural concrete, not the concrete that is underneath just as surface preparation. BSWH on the horizontal is composed of the dual selvage, which means if we have a look at the selvage, there's a plastic film that we can see here, just from the edge, that covers about half of the side lap. So we're looking at about 10 centimeters side lap. So it's about 5 centimeters, 4 or 5 centimeters with a plastic film, and another 5 or 6 centimeters with adhesive bitumen. So when we will install two membranes together in the side lap, there's another section of the side lap that it's not covered with sand. So the adhesion will be from this part that is not covered with a plastic film. The last portion that is covered with sand will be heat welded, will be fully sealed by torching with a propane torch. So we're talking about maybe 5 or 6 centimeters that will be fully torched on the dual selvage. This is BSWH. First step. After, on the concrete blinding on the vertical surface, which could be shotcrete, secant piles, lagging, forms. We will make any, so this will be sacrificed. This will remain in place.
Yes.
We are in a pre-applied waterproofing system. So first step, drainage board, mechanically fastened. The drainage board is not there only for the function as drainage, like I was explaining before. It's there as surface preparation. You know, you've seen blinding or soil retention system. I like to call it soil retention system. Secant piles and different shotcrete and everything. It does not create a nice and smooth surface, right? So we need something that will cover the soil retention system to create this nice and smooth surface to receive the waterproofing membrane. Drainage board is the ideal product for that application. It's made of plastic and it's 6 feet, it's 1, 2, 3,
2.1 meters.
Perfect, thank you. 2.1 meters. Why? Means that at every 2 meters, you have only one joint every 2 meters. So you already have a first line of defense here because water won't go through the plastic board. After that, you have a continuous waterproofing membrane that will have the same dual selvage. Here, I cannot demonstrate because it's fully torched already, but it's a dual selvage. So we have a continuous waterproofing membrane that is installed on the vertical application. And after that, concrete is poured. And with this surface, the center top surface of our membrane is a very good receiver for concrete. Concrete has good adhesive properties. And anybody has ever poured concrete? You installed concrete before? Yes, someone? No?
No.
Yes, you did? What happened to your tools if you don't clean it right away? To your shovels or your wheelbarrow? It's done. Concrete will just stick. So concrete has good adhesive properties. This material is a good receiver. The cement, which is the binder in the concrete mix, has good adhesion to this material here. Why we're talking a lot about the adhesion, it's very important to get this adhesion. It will prevent what we call the lateral water migration between the structural concrete and the waterproofing membrane. So we can achieve this using this system here. So very important. Membrane, waterproofing membrane. Details, all angle changes are reinforced with an additional strip, fully heat welded on the surface. So 2 layers of membrane at all angle changes and critical areas and spots. If not, it's BSWH plus BSW protector on the horizontal, drainage board, and BSWV on the vertical. Accent flashing, you all know accent flashing. It's a very good accessory that can be used for pile cap, details, liquid applied with the reinforcement. as well as sometimes if we have wood lagging or there's some, we will have tie back heads to waterproof on the soil retention system. Liquid as some flashing works perfectly fine in combination with this system. Pile cap will use grout and epoxy mortar on top as additional protection to seal the over some flashing. But I think that describes very well the system. Do you have any questions?
When do you use the protector?
Protector is used on horizontal on top of BSWH. It's always recommended. Just BSWH is an acceptable solution if we are doing jobs above the water table level. As soon as we are going below the water table level, when I talk about water table level, it's the level or the height of the water in the ground. As soon as we are going below that level, the protector is required to be used. And if we want to go one step further, it is also possible to do full tanking for projects that will be deep in the water table level. There's also a possibility to do another system that we call high hydrostatic pressure resistance. And we use 2 layers of H. So first layer is loose slate. Second layer is fully torched on the first layer. And we use it instead of the protector as replacement of the protector. Then we will create a 2-ply fully sealed and monolithic waterproofing system.
Just another question. So the protection layer is fully torched on the BSWH, or it's...
Michael will prepare a samples. I will show you.
Yes.
It's a BSWH is 3.5 millimeter thick, and the bottom surface is covered with a thermofusible plastic film, like
yes,
you can see here.
Yes.
Thermofusible plastic film, 3.5 seal. So that's on the horizontal, and it's a polyester reinforcement.
Okay.
BSWV, now, this one here on the wall, it's a composite reinforcement. Composite reinforcement is a little bit thinner compared to the polyester. So we have 3 millimeter here, but with same amount of compound of rubberized slash.
Okay.
SBS 45 bitumen. The protector, we use same reinforcement we have on the BSWV, the composite with high puncture and tensile resistance, tear resistance. But we created a membrane at 2 millimeter. So it's not a waterproofing membrane, it's there as protection. So we have all the good mechanical properties and resistance from the composite reinforcement on top of the BSWH. The bottom surface is self-adhered. So we remove the plastic film and we will install it directly on the top surface of the other with self-adhesive. And on the top, it's just fully sanded, so we will get the adhesion. So this is the surface onto which, on the horizontal, we need extra protection.
Lo funde le hace una membrana única. O sea, se pega en este y se funde con el concreto. ¿Cómo pega esa
silica.
Tiene una regla específica de...
On the horizontal, there will foot traffic from the installers. There will be material storage. So we need an additional extra protection on the horizontal. So that's why we use this membrane. So if this is the H, this is not exactly it because it's just an additional piece that I showed to demonstrate. It's just
Okay, so this is BSWH, this is BSW protector.
And this is the protector.
Yes.
The protector will be installed on top. After the installation of the V and the reinforcement.
So the real product is not BSWH, but BSW protector, the one that reacts with concrete.
Yes, but the three products, the three BSW membrane, they have the same bitumen and surface finishing.
Okay.
So they all react the same with the adhesion.
Okay.
Y ese muy delgado y se hay una reacción con calor del concreto, se pega abajo y se pega encima. Se crea mono. This is the V.
And this is the V. Difference with the V, you have the dual salvage on it. Protector, no salvage, just sand with the surface. You will see the adhesion quality to poured concrete when we measure with peel. Even though it's all the same surface, the numbers are a little bit different. It's mainly becoming from the the rigidity of
Okay.
the reinforcements. When we do peel, the rigidity of the reinforcement to the force that is required, the strength to fold the membrane at
Yes.
first. Might
And
explain
how do you deal with the
variation.
joint between the horizontal and the vertical?
Between horizontal and vertical, BSWH first, and then we come after with BSWV on top, and we fully torch an additional
Okay.
reinforcement in the angle change.
Okay,
So
perfect.
2 layers of membrane and the reinforcement fully torched, so we get monolithic adhesion and joints between all the membranes in the corner.
Okay. Thank you.
Pleasure. Any other questions? Yes?
No, no, please.